Hope for a more prosperous 2020. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Thanks for tuning in. I am Jimenita Swain. Topping news, optimists are looking for the country to rebound in 2020 from a year that saw Hurricane Dorian serve a blow to commerce, industry, and the way of life for thousands of Bahamians. Fidelity Bank and Trust Chief Financial Officer reasons that if wise moves are made, the Bahamas can come out on the other side further ahead than it was. Here's Makushla Pinder.
It's been proven in the aftermath of a disaster, in our case a major hurricane, there's a boom in the economy. You have an uptick in construction and new businesses pop up. But Fidelity Bank and Trust Chief Financial Officer Gowon Bowe would tell you, if not done properly, the Bahamas could find itself stalling.
$1 million spent in the right way could translate into 10 million, but 10 million spent in the wrong way could translate into 1 million. When we look at the amount of money going on to the ground, we have to be innovative. So if I'm going to spend a significant sum of money, do I not look to create entrepreneurship by saying, how many businesses could thrive if they knew they would have pre-sales of several $1 million? And that's only to say that the government knows that it has allocated a significant sum of money. It should then be looking to say, well, how do I look at new opportunities for individuals by saying to them, if you come with an appropriate business plan, if you can demonstrate to me that you can execute, then I will give you the contract, meaning new persons.
This, in turn, he says, will serve as a stimulus for Abaconians and Grand Bahamians to return to their islands. The end result? Well, commerce restored.
But I think we have to look at Dorian as what it is. Whilst behind every dark cloud is a silver lining, we have to be prepared to grab it by the horns. And in reality, people have to know what you're going to do. It's not good enough to say that you have authorities, committees, personnel being assigned. You need to lay out, this is what I'm going to be doing over the next time frame, so that individuals can feel comfortable that there is a plan and it is being monitored. And if we find deviations, we know that when things are not going according to plan, that we can take a different course.
As for the borrowing in the wake of Dorian's devastation, Bowe reasons that this must be very strategic and purposeful.
I don't really have much faith in simply saying that I'm borrowing money. What I would like to know is, what exactly am I borrowing for? And when we look at it, yes, there's going to be a deficit, but where is that deficit? And I want specifics. So if you tell me that this is going to be infrastructure spend, I understand that if I spend $100 million putting in infrastructure, that should last me in the absence of another hurricane or some major event, another 10, 15, 20 years. So I understand that there's a significant payback period. If I'm borrowing to cover salaries, if I'm borrowing to keep the lights on, that is not something that I want to see us continually increasing the borrowing for. And when we look at it, Rome wasn't built in a day. That's a common cliche. So we're not going to restore Abaco in 6 months. So do I need to be borrowing at the level that I am, given that I only have 6 months through to the end of the fiscal year? So I would like to see us lay out a debt borrowing strategy in relation to Dorian, as well as our normal borrowing.
Again, Dorian's widespread destruction and devastation left behind a $3+ billion price tag. That's based on assessments conducted by the Inter-American Development Bank and the United Nations Economic Commission for Latin America and the Caribbean. For the ZNS News Network, I'm Makushla Pinder.